We're gonna do a live. I have several projects that I need to finish up. And I just want to talk to you guys, see what you want to see next on my next videos. I was thinking about just working on a video, but then I thought it would be fun to just do a live and complete some of these projects that I'm probably not going to, this whole thing is bugging me, things that I'm probably not going to do a video on. So we're just going to do a little painting. I brought a bunch of brushes over here. I've got some paint. We're going to work on some projects. I have got a couple different Whimsykel paper paintings. I'm getting ready for my new booth in Dahlonega, and I want to finish up some of my Whimsykel papers tonight. So hello everyone, these are some projects that I've already started. I'm Emily, if you've never been here before. Emily with J Bone and Company, and I'm glad you're here. And we're just going to work on some projects, finishing them up, things that I'm not going to do videos on. So if you're here, say hello. Hey girl, how's it going? Thanks for jumping on here. We're going to have some fun. I've got all my paintbrushes right here with me, and I've got some, oh yeah, I was going to get on here and see how to do this so I can see you guys when you comment to me on my computer, but I gotta figure out how to do this because I never, oh, here we go. Maybe your comment, oh, there you go. Okay, now I can see it. Okay, hello, Lucinda. I hate to be looking down. Maybe there's a better place I can look. Maybe I could put it right here. So, whoa, it's a little bit behind. That's weird. Okay, so hello, Lucinda. Hello, Mariah. Thanks for being here. So I'm just going to just work on some of these projects. Okay, so here is one of them. This is a cactus Whimsykel paper. It is this particular paper is a 21 by 29 inch Whimsykel decoupage paper, and it's a two-part, so you get two different images. The other image is, I don't know, somewhere over there in my stash. So we're going to just be blending on here, and we're going to blend all the way up here, and then we have another one we're going to work on. This one, it still has some paper. It's a Flamingo. I thought about doing a Florida video, like a, what was it going to be called? I can't remember now. But anyway, we're going to be doing that. Well, you're welcome. I'm glad you're here, Mariah. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you hopped on here today. We're going to have a lot of fun. I appreciate you telling me that you're a fan. So I'm at my house. My husband's here. My kids are with my parents in Texas. I'm in Georgia. My kids are in Texas at my parents' house, so it's really quiet here. So we're just going to have some fun today, and I've got my computer set up here, which I normally don't have. And let's just go ahead and get started. So the first one is going to be this one. Can y'all see this? I'm going to bend it down like this. So I've already decoupaged this. I did this like a couple weeks ago, and I was going to put it on a video, but I don't think I'll do a video with this, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it here. So we need to blend around the edges and make it look like one piece of art. So the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to, I've got all these DIY paints right here because we're going to be using DIY paint with this particular project. Okay, so we're just going to take our sand, can y'all see this? Yeah, we're going to take our sandpaper, and we're just going to get a little bit of that, you know, make it a sharp edge. Y'all see, oh, y'all can see my computer right there. Let me move that so y'all can't see it so much. Okay, so welcome tonight. What are you guys up to? I really couldn't decide what I wanted to do tonight. I couldn't decide if I wanted to work on a regular video because I haven't put a regular video out in a while, or if I just wanted to finish up some projects. I couldn't decide what I wanted to do, so I decided that I would just finish some things. So I hope that's okay with you. So you're watching from Texas. Where are you in Texas, Zella? That's my home state. That's where I was born and raised. Lived there until I was 31 when I moved to Georgia. I moved out here to Georgia because both my brothers lived here and my nephews, and I wanted to live out here with them. And I'm glad I was able to live out here with my nephews and brothers and all that, but I sure do miss Texas. So where are you from in Texas? Okay, so I've already picked out some colors that we're going to use. I picked out this Hey Sailor and some of this, you know, some red would be good with this too. Blue Iris, now that I'm seeing it in the light. You're in Denison, but mostly live in Wiley. Okay, up north of Dallas. Perfect. I lived in Dallas for a good while. I went to school, well, this wasn't Dallas, but I went to school in UTA in Arlington, and then I went to law school at SMU there in Dallas. So I am very, very familiar with Dallas, Texas. I love Dallas, Fort Worth. Have a lot of good memories from Dallas. So I'm glad you caught my live. So I'm going to open these colors. Hey, Stephanie. Okay, this is called Blue Iris. It's a beautiful, like almost like, I don't even know what you would call that, but a bright blue, really pretty blue. This one is called a Hey Sailor. It's a little bit more of a navy blue. You see the difference? And then we'll open some red, because now that this is in the light, I can see there's some purples and stuff like that, so we might want to make some purples. I got a little red or black just in case we want some black. Okay. Okay, this is really weird watching it on, I need some paper towels, watching it on the computer, because what y'all are seeing is a little bit delayed, so it looks a little weird from my view, because I don't usually do that. So if y'all would love, I'd love to hear where you all are watching from. And I'm gonna grab some of these popsicle sticks. We were cleaning up today, and I found some crafts my daughter was doing, so there were some popsicle sticks, and I thought, you know, those would make the perfect paint stirrers just for something simple and easy. I usually use like takeout spoons, but I thought this would be even better. So thank y'all so much for clicking on here tonight. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna make this over, finish this one. We're gonna finish the next one. I need to finish that rooster stool. So I'm just gonna be finishing up some stuff, and we can just chat and talk and have some fun if y'all want to do that. Okay, so we're gonna put a base layer on here, and I think I'm gonna just start out with that bright blue. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make this picture right here blend in so it looks like a piece of art. So what I'm doing is I am just mixing the blue and the two blues together just to get, you know, a combination color, because we're going to have to go back anyway with multiple layers, because you don't want your canvas to show. So those of you that don't know, I actually went to college and got a degree in studio art, focusing primarily in painting and drawing. So I love to paint, I love to draw, but I took a hiatus from that and went to law school. But I still have always loved to paint and draw. That's my thing. So here we are. So that's what I love to do. I like to make thrift flip videos. I like to do paintings, drawings. I've got some exciting things coming up that I'll be launching soon. I've only told a couple of people about this. So can y'all hear me okay? Y'all let me know if you can hear me okay. So we're just going to be putting this first layer down. Okay. And it doesn't look like it matches at all at first, but that's okay. It doesn't matter because it will eventually. So what we're trying to do is just get a layer of paint on there, because we're just covering up. We're covering up the canvas is what we're doing, because it's going to take several layers of this paint. So I may even take out my blow gun a little bit, because see how you can see through it. I may take out my heat gun a little bit and heat it up a little bit. If y'all are having fun so far, I would love for you to hit that like button. Leave me a comment. It shoots my video out to more folks so more people can see it. Y'all say hello. If you're watching this on replay here later on, say hello on replay. But right now we're live, so would love for you to say hello. There's usually a lot of fun people come on here. A lot of crafters come on here. Okay, Zella, thank you. Good evening from Connecticut. Okay, wait a second. I've missed a whole bunch of these. For some reason it's not showing on my computer. Oh, that's weird. Okay, so let's see. You're tearing deco paper to use on a reverse decoupage project. Cool, that sounds fun. Hello, Luann. I'm from Connecticut. What are you doing, Luann? So I'm gonna have to go ahead just so we can move this project along. I'm going to hit this with my hot, what do you call this thing? Heat gun. So it may be a little loud for a second. You might want to turn it down just a second. But we're just going to heat it up. This is DIY paint. It's a clay-based paint. It does have to be sealed because it can be reactivated with water. So after we do this, we're going to have to seal it. Okay. So for some reason, it's not showing up on my computer, and I have no idea why. So I'll just have to keep looking at my phone. So this won't take that long. I just want to get it kind of dried a little bit, because if it's not dry, what's going to happen is it'll just take up the paint when we go back over it, okay? So I always paint, usually this is my kitchen area. We've got a little seating area in here, so my husband may be coming back and forth. He's helping out with some laundry, or doing some laundry. I don't want to say helping out, he's doing some laundry. Okay. I've been cleaning all day today and getting the house in order. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make a little bit of purple. So some resin molds earlier for the fall sunflowers, pumpkins, relaxing, awesome. I love that sunflower mold. Thank you, Luann. Okay, wait a second. It's now showing up. Yes, my kids did get to Texas. Okay, so now we're gonna take some red, and we're gonna take some of that color, and we're gonna mix it together, and we're gonna get some purple. Okay. You can't mess this up, because if you don't like it, you can just paint over it. Okay, we're just blending right there on the canvas. I think we want it a little bit bluer, so we're going to add some more of that blue. Okay, and we're just kind of, I'm making like large brush strokes, so it looks like a painting and not just like you just did like straight strokes. I want it to have some texture. So we're just going to mix this together like this. Yes, they got there last night to Texas. They made it there, I can't remember what time it was. It wasn't too late. They got there, they had fun. They were playing ping pong and everything else. And they actually even went to church this morning. I told my mom, I said, you would probably love to take them to church to show them off to all your friends. And so she talked to them all, and they were all excited to go. So they all got up this morning, and of course 2 of them were adults, and then my one son, he's almost 18, so they're adults, but my nephews still seem like kids to me, even if they're grown. They're in their 20s. And then of course my little kids are younger. They're, how old are they? They're 10 and 9, so they're still kind of little. My mom had to get them together. But you see how we made this purple color just by mixing them together, and I'm not mixing them separately. I'm just putting them together and mixing them right there. And like I said, you can't mess this up, because if you don't like it, and I'm gonna add a little black. I usually don't like to mix with black, but I'm gonna add some black just to mix it in a little bit more. So what do y'all think about this project so far? Do you like seeing this project? So it's going to take several layers, but like I said, it's You can't mess it up. So if you have y'all ever applied, have you ever blended decoupage paper like this? If so, let me know. I also am a retailer for this particular decoupage line, and I sell a lot of different designs. If you're not into cactus, there's a whole lot more different things that you can, you know, use. I just thought this was kind of cool looking, and I thought it would be fun to do a piece of artwork. See, it's starting to blend in some. I'm just gonna move it over here so I can get this side. I don't know if y'all are gonna be able to see this. Well, maybe a little bit. I'll try to keep it where y'all can see it. Oops, a little off the screen there. But I'm just kind of tapping it. I don't want to see the canvas through there. I don't like to see really the texture of the canvas. I want to see texture of the paint. So when you're doing this, don't be afraid to use a lot of paint, because you need to use some paint just to get that texture. So, and I like to blend right there. If you're not comfortable blending on the canvas, you can always like blend on a separate plate or something like that, but I'm comfortable with it, so I'm just gonna blend right there on the canvas. It's really easy to do. Okay guys, y'all talk to me. Y'all talk to me. Okay, so I have a question. I have just started blending, but I love watching people do it so I can learn. Yep, so all you have to do is dip it in one color, dip it in the other color. This is hard for me to show y'all this particular. I've got a bunch of junk over here on this other end of my, it's not junk, it's just art supplies over here. So I'm gonna try to move it down so y'all can see it. I don't know if there's a way for me to get y'all to see it, but you're just gonna blend it together. If it gets too red, too like plum color, and you don't like the plum color, add more blue. That's it. If you want it darker, you can add a little black. The kind of indigo color, the blue iris, will make it, you know, be like more like a pop of color, a little bit more, a brighter color, of course. And then if you want it to be a little bit darker, you could go with this more of a navy color. I don't know if y'all can see that. This part's a little hard to show y'all. So, okay, so I have a question. I am starting to do my next few videos. I have one that's coming up soon. It's already done, but it's a collaboration, so I'm not quite sure when that video is going to go live. That one's already done. But I need to do some more videos, and I want to know what y'all want. Ooh, I'm making a mess here. I want to know what y'all want to watch. What are y'all interested in seeing? So you can just blend on your paper too, if you want to do that. So what, are y'all ready for full on fall? Are you okay with still some summer? What is it that you guys are interested in watching? That is the $1 million question, and that's what I want to know, so I can make some videos of things that you guys are interested in seeing. So are you interested in seeing fall stuff, dark and moody videos, or like late summer, like gardening type stuff? Or do you want, so we've got dark and moody to choose from, fall, or we could go into like late summer or Halloween. I value you guys' opinion, and I like to hear your opinion. So y'all let me know what y'all want to see. I'm ready for fall. Okay, Zella is ready for fall. Yes, dark and moody. Okay, you're ready for fall. It's just kind of crazy because it is so hot. So doing fall is a little weird, but I understand. Where's your booth, and what do you sell, Zella? Okay, so that's pretty much what we're gonna do here. I'll probably let this area dry more, and then we'll come back. Might be because the heat, I'm in fall segment. Yeah, I hear you. We were just in Florida last week, and I'm gonna tell you what, it was so hot. Okay, y'all, I have to go move this over here so it can dry. I'll be right back, just so I can have a spot to do my next project. Okay, we're gonna let that one dry for a minute. Okay, yeah, I hear you on the heat. Okay, so now here's another one. This is a Flamingo one. I was going to do a video of Florida, what was it gonna be called? Like Florida summer, some another, but I changed my mind. Now my next video is summer, but y'all gotta watch it. What I basically do, I do a lot of, it's kind of like a coastal decor video, but the thing is I teach a bunch of techniques. So yes, the subject matter is like upscale coastal decor, but I teach a lot of techniques that you can use on whatever kind of project, whatever season you want to do. So I think that's going to be a very good video. That video is a collaboration with Debbie from DIY Paint, and then a whole bunch of other, not a whole bunch, I think there's 5 or 6, a handful of other DIY retailers, this is hard to do while I'm doing this on live, retailers that sell the DIY paint, and I'm not quite sure who all agreed to do it, but there were the people on the list, there are a lot of the big name creators, so I was very pleased to get invited. So I've already decoupaged this on, and I've already put a top coat on, and now I let it dry for a couple weeks just because we were out of town. And now this is supposed to be in a downward motion, okay? Sometimes I cheat and go side to side, but we're supposed to tell you in a downward, that fishing thrift store. Yeah, wasn't that cool? So I went to a thrift store called Marine Thrift, and I don't really like to film in thrift stores. I'll take pictures, but I find it to be kind of weird to film in a thrift store. But it was basically a bunch of like fishing equipment and stuff that was used. I was hoping it would be all this really cool stuff, but it was more like just actual stuff you can use, not like antique or vintage or anything like that. But there was a small section that was thrifted, like vintage items, and I did pick up some cool things. I found a sponge, a really cool, like a real sponge. Am I going to be selling? No, not at my new booth. I'm not going to be selling DIY paint. I'm going to be selling Fusion mineral paint, and the Alchemy, and the other stuff. What is it? The Whimsykel papers. So my first love is actually Fusion mineral paint. I love Fusion mineral paint. It's an awesome paint, and I actually don't I only sell it at my husband's store. I don't have a booth in like an antique booth where I sell Fusion. So I'm very pleased to sell Fusion there. I'm very happy about that. So turns out, so I'll give you the skinny on what actually happened. So I actually applied for DIY paint to sell it there. First I applied for the Fusion mineral paint because I just really wanted to be able to, I wanted a place to sell that. Then I was approved, and then I decided to apply for DIY paint because, you know, why not? That's a great paint too. And I actually got approved to sell it there. I was told I could sell it there and everything, and I was excited, placed my order. But turns out another retailer had, they initially told me that you had to wait, and then I got special permission to be able to sell it there, and everything was good. I placed my initial order and all that, but then turns out another retailer had applied a few days before me for the very same location, 3 days, and they ended up saying that that retailer could sell it there, but I'm okay with that. And so I'll be selling it's just fine. It's one less thing, because I already have, you know, I've got 3 kids, I'm a lawyer, I've got all these booths, and so it's okay that I'm not selling it there. So, okay, let's see what she says. I have a booth in Frisco and 2 in Durant, Oklahoma. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, well, you sell all kind of stuff, Zella. Awesome. I actually met Connie one time when I was in Wisconsin. So anyway, that's great that you sell that. Y'all, I've got some exciting news to tell y'all, but I'm not quite ready to sell it, to tell y'all yet. It's something that I have been thinking about doing, and I'm going to be announcing that at some point. This month, though, is going to be very, very busy for me because I'm opening that new booth, but also just in my law, in my legal work. I've got a bunch of trials and stuff coming up, so I'm going to be very busy just taking care of my other job. So it's going to be kind of crazy. Well, you're busy, so do you sell like vintage stuff too, Zella, or do you mainly sell stuff that you make? And also, do you have a YouTube channel? If anyone here has a YouTube channel, I would love for you to share that so we can check it out. When do they go back to school in Georgia? So my 2 youngest kids go back to school. When is it? Not this Tuesday, but the next Tuesday. So they're going to be coming back Sunday. My oldest son, though, he actually starts. He's going to have to miss 1 day of school. His school starts. He goes to a different school district. My younger kids go to the school district right in town and then in the city. And then my older son goes a little bit out of town, and they start just a little bit different. So my older son is going to miss the first day of school, but he's getting to spend time with his grandparents, and I think it's worth it that he misses that first day of school and spends a little time with his grandparents and all that. So it was a last minute trip. My nephew just kind of decided to go. Like, we tried to get a trip together the first of the year, but because my kids can't go out there by themselves. They need adults going with them, and so we tried to get my older nephew or my younger nephew to take them, but he was taking the LSAT. He's about to graduate from college. My second oldest nephew, so he couldn't go at the first of the summer, and then kind of last minute they decided to go on this trip. So like a week or so ago, a few weeks ago maybe. So anyway, okay, so we got that done. I'm probably gonna have to put a little bit more decoupage stuff, decoupage gel right there. I use liquid patina, but you can use whatever kind of decoupage medium you have. I sell the liquid patina, which is a top coat from DIY, and I also sell what's the other thing? Fusion transfer gel and Rethunk Gunk, which is Rethunk Junk's decoupage. So if you need any of that decoupage medium, you can check it out. Okay, so we've gotten that done. See, usually when I do this on a video, I speed it up, so it took a little bit more time to do it. But you just want to make sure you get that sharp edge right there. Okay. Then we're gonna make sure to get it over here too. Okay. So what's your best seller? Hi Tiffany, how are you? What's your best seller, Zella? What do you sell the most of up at in your booth? Okay, and how far is Durant, Oklahoma from where you are in Wiley? Okay, so this one, we're gonna do a little bit different colors. We're gonna use the sea glass art. Okay. Like what do you mean by art? Sometimes this paint sticks together, so I just bang on the counter to get it to come open. Okay, there we go. The thing about DIY paint, it sticks a little bit, but it's not that bad. Fusion sticks way worse, and you have to hit it with a heat gun or something like that. But because this is the clay-based paint, it doesn't cause as much problem sticking. You usually get it open. Okay, well that's not too bad. Do your schools have AC? Yes, we would die if they didn't have AC. It's really hot. It's really hot. It was hot in Florida, then we came back here, it was hot here. It's just hot. Okay, so, and if y'all were on that live yesterday, I was so hot. Okay, so I'm gonna hit this. Okay, here we go. This is Salty Kiss. This is Sea Glass, and look, I want to show you this. Look at this paint. This is called cake batter. But when I got some of these paints the very first time, some paint had spilled all over them. So they had to send me some new ones. So I couldn't sell, it's still usable paint. I just couldn't get it off good enough where it looked nice enough to, you know, resell it. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. We're not even gonna clean our brush because you don't need to. Still has some of that purple. Okay, well that makes sense. It makes sense that they don't start back till then because of that. So we're mainly gonna use some, what I do when I'm deciding to blend is I just look at the colors and like what colors in here. So I basically see turquoise, green, yellow, some white, even a little purple. There's all kinds of colors. There's different ways to do it. Some people want to copy it exactly, but I'm not going to copy it exactly. I just want it to kind of blend. I just want to get plenty of paint on there, nice and thick. So I'm just going to dip my brush in both of these. We're going to get nice and thick. We're just going to cover the canvas. One of the things I see that a lot of artists do is they don't put enough paint on their canvas, so then the canvas shows through. That kind of bugs me a little bit, but that's just me. Maybe it doesn't bug other people, but I like to have a lot of paint on the canvas so that it gives a texture. And that's one good reason to use the DIY paint, because it's thick. You could also use the Alchemy, or you could use regular Fusion paint too. You just have to like dab it and make sure there's enough. Anything you put in frames. No, I understand about that. Frame stuff really does sell well. In fact, that was one of the things I have on my list to do, is to do a bunch of framed art, because framed art really sells, whether it's something, you know, whether it, y'all, I kind of go off screen here. Here you go. Whether it's from Temu or something I thrift or something I print offline, it does sell. I agree with you. People love, and I never know, do they like the art or are they just buying the frame, or is it both? Sometimes I wonder. So also another good point is when I do this kind of artwork here, I buy thrifted frames and thrifted art. So this was just like a piece of art that was, I don't know, it had all kind of colors and stuff in it, and I just put some, you can just prime it. I believe I use the Salvation solution, but you can use primer or white paint, whatever you want to. See how thick that is? You want to get it nice and thick. And then I just put that primer on there and cover up the artwork. And then, I mean, I think I paid $2.50 for these canvases. There were 5 of them. It was like a series of these kind of geometric looking art, but it looked like something you might get at, I don't know, not an expensive place, put it that way. Okay, so I'm just doing the first layer here. So your first booth is not doing that good. Well, I'm sorry about that. I'm probably gonna close my booth in Cumming. I already told the same people that have the store in Dahlonega, where I'm gonna open it, have another store, and I've already told them I've got to get over there though this week and I guess put it in writing that I'm gonna close that store. Nothing against the store, it's just a little too far from my house, and it's just, you know, I sell stuff, but it's not doing great, and it's just too far to get over there for me. It's not convenient. and so I tend to not want to go over there. So, but the one in Dahlonega, because I'm going to have my Fusion paint, I'm excited about that one. Okay, so now what we're going to do, I could dry it, but I'm just going to go back with this thick paint, and we're just going to try to replicate a painting. And what we want it to do is just kind of look like it matches. It doesn't have to be perfect. We just want it to look like it matches. So we're just gonna, and you know, some people when they do this, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Some people paint all the way up to the whatever subject it is. And then some people don't. It just depends. I mean, you could try to match it exactly. You could change the colors. You can do whatever you want to. That's the thing. It's your art. Do what you want. So that's what you can do. Your booth in September. Okay, oh, I hate that you're losing money. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Before I didn't have the wholesale stuff like this. I did mainly thrift flips, and of course the profit, at least for me, was much better when it's not wholesale. Wholesale, you know, you don't make it, or you typically don't make as much money, or I don't. I made a lot more money just on vintage reselling. So I'm going to add a little bit more of this. I'm going to add some of that blue. So yeah, I mean, I hear you. So you have to sell more on wholesale to make your money when you're selling stuff like paint and stuff like that. But I'm assuming you make your money up with the art and, you know, all the other things that you can sell along with the wholesale items. So that's what I'm planning to do in this booth is, I'll put this up so you're not just seeing half of me. That's what I plan on doing in this booth is having my paint and my art supplies, but also some, what do you call it? Just a smaller vintage section, and then just some other random things to go along, you know, with it that I can sell too, that I know I can sell. Dahlonega is a college town, so a lot of college people are there, so their parents come in, and it's also a touristy town. A lot of people come in. It's a really cute little Hallmark, I mean, it's like the Hallmark movie town, so a lot of people come there to visit, and they have festivals and all that. So, you know, you want to have some things that people can just, you know, too many people out there. Okay, well, I get it. But there's, you know, you want to have things that people can just grab really easy. So anyway, thanks for sharing that information with me. Okay, so this one is just about through. I have to let it dry. So I'm going to step away for just a second. I'm going to put it on the other side of the island so I have a place to set. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to go back over here because I can see some of that canvas showing through, and that wears on my last nerve. I like it nice and thick, and to see brush strokes. I don't want to see any canvas. I can't really tell if it's canvas or just where the paint is drying. You know how chalk paint kind of dries a little bit. I wish this was a Zoom call instead of y'all just talking on the messenger. YouTube really needs to make this like a Zoom where you guys could talk instead of just messaging. That would be more fun for me, because it's kind of weird, like you're doing a live and you're painting and then you got to read it, and then, you know, it just makes it a little bit more awkward. So I'm just smoothing this out. Okay. So y'all, if you're enjoying this live, I would love for y'all to hit that like button, leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Okay, here we go. I'll step back. See how it's looking now? It's blending in. What do y'all think? Do you like it? It's looking pretty good, I think. So then what we'll do, after it dries, I'll make sure if we need to put some more decoupage medium there. We have to go back over the whole thing again with the decoupage medium, because wherever the paint dries, no matter what kind of paint you have, it's probably going to have a different sheen than the paper, and you want it all to to match. Yeah, wouldn't it be, hey there, Laura, what's going on? Wait, is that Laura or Kim? Oh, I got messed up, I can't think. Okay, yeah, okay, there you go. Y'all like that? Okay, so I'm gonna just step right here and put it aside. I have to have some drying space. Okay, well good. That was fun. That was Laura. Okay, I thought it was Laura. I just wanted to make sure. Thank you guys. I'm glad you all enjoyed that. Yay. Okay, so now we have to decide what to do next. So I have one more. This, look at here. Can y'all see this on the back? That's what the art looked like before. You see those colors? It was like geometric shapes on the back. But this is what the canvas looks like when I just put, back a long time ago we used to put gesso on there. Oh, I put this one, I guess I paid $2.99. The tag's still on there, but they're good size canvases. So just so you can see how big they are, I'll put a coat down there. See how big those are? Good size canvases for $2.99. That would cost a fortune. Oh, that would be cool. What groups are you in, Luann? What groups do you belong to where you do a Zoom? I was on a group one time, but I think I only made it to one meeting because I usually don't have time just because of my kids and they play sports and then my work and this. So I didn't really have time to jump on a Zoom, but I think it would be fun. Okay, so we're gonna close this up. Okay, so now this is where we've got to decide. What are we gonna do next? Also, what should I do in my next video? Dark and moody, fall thrift flips, Halloween, late summer. But I already told you my next video is going to be upscale coastal decor, and I think you're gonna love it. Even if you're not into coastal decor, there are a lot, I teach techniques. Every project I'm teaching a different technique. So if you want to use it for Christmas decorations, Halloween, fall, spring, whatever, you can use them. So, you know, when I'm doing these videos, if you're thinking, hey, I don't like flamingos, hey, I don't like cactus, it doesn't matter if you like it or not. I'm teaching you, it does matter if you like it or not, but what I'm trying to say is I'm teaching you the technique. So you could do this same technique with a subject matter that you like, if that makes sense. So now you know, if you didn't already know, now you know how to blend these. It's really fun, it's really easy. You can't mess it up because you can just paint right over it. Variety of crafts, one group, okay. Coastal would be great. I live on the water. Okay, well, you're gonna like this video. You know, I figure it's still fall. I mean, it's still summer. We're in July. I think you're gonna love this video. I made over, basically what I did in the video is I took, you know how like us thrifters and crafters, we buy this, we buy that, and we kind of have, maybe we do a project, but we have leftover like junk. Like for example, I did a canister set. I'm gonna grab it so you can see it. Well, it doesn't matter, but I did a canister set. It had 2 canisters. I'll show it to you, it's right here. Because I was tagging it to take to my booth. It had 2 canisters, okay? But the second canister, and y'all excuse my mess. When I'm about to do my video, I have all my stuff out here so I can use it on my coffee table. So this is one of the canister sets I did on live, and then I finished it in my video. So there were actually 3 canisters, but the 3rd canister was too small to put this rooster on. So I thought that it would just have been weird looking. So I used that canister to make over another project. I put like a seashell mold on there, and it's so pretty. So no problem, Carrie. I'm glad you're here. So what time is it? What time is it for you? Is it early in the morning? So anyway, on that last video that I did, I took like odds and ends, just kind of smaller things that I, okay, cool. So I took odds and ends from my thrifted stash, and I made them all over, and I think you're gonna like them. Some are neutral, some are bright. This is part of the collaboration with Debbie, so there is a new product coming out. She put it on her video, so I mean, I just watched her video and she announced it, so I guess we're free to announce it, but it's going to be a summer DIY box. Yay! Anyway, that's coming out. That's going to be released. I heard her just announce it. So we are using some summer colors, but I'm showing you how you can take those summer colors and use them for neutrals or brights, whatever. But I wanted to go with a coastal theme because I had let me see if it's right here. I had bought these at the first of the summer, this seashell mold. I love this seashell mold. It's got all of these different ones, and I'm going to tell y'all the molds or the castings that come out, they are gorgeous. So I wanted to use that one, and I wanted to use this one. This is called the Sea Ladies. I have both of them on my website, and I just wanted to use them, but y'all aren't going to believe, these two came out before I was a retailer, and at first I didn't buy them, but then I was like, actually saw Debbie doing something with one a while back, and I was like, oh, those are so cool. Because when I first did videos, I would say, well, we live in North Georgia near the mountains. I thought, why am I going to buy like like stuff for the sea? Because up here, I thought people might not really want that. Yes, she does have her dad hard at work. I saw him on the video. But anyway, so what I'm trying to tell you is, but then I realized a lot of you guys live by the ocean, or you just like stuff at the ocean. So then I thought, well, heck, I could get this. And recently, my little 10-year-old, I was telling my mom that I had started decorating with like, I have some really cool seashells, and I brought out my blue and white stuff, like blue and white, like vases and stuff, and some like natural looking, just decor. It's like beachy, but it's not like, it's like natural, like seashells. And I bought this big sponge. I just got that. My daughter was telling my mom, oh yeah, she's like two months too late decorating. And I'm like, it's still July. But as crafters, we have to, for selling them, we have to start doing, fall stuff now. So here we are. So, okay, so I just want to show you all those, but those are really pretty. I used that one in my stool video. But yeah, so I think you're really going to like those, so y'all please watch that when it comes out. I'm hoping that it will give me some new subscribers, some new people that have never seen my channel will check me out and all that. So anyway, are y'all not seeing my face? On my video, I can see my face. Okay, whoops. I can't tell. Okay. Maybe you can or maybe not. Okay, so yeah, so here we are. So now, one thing I need to do, but I'm really worried, I'm gonna blow dry this real quick so it doesn't get on my stool. Because that stool I made in the rooster video, I never finished it. I didn't have time to finish it. Okay. So I didn't have time to finish it. So I've got to finish it. Okay, so I'm just drying this so it doesn't get on that stool. I'm gonna put some wax on it or some kind of chalk coat. I don't have any more of this craft paper handy without going to the garage, so I don't want to have to go out there. Okay, so this stool. Okay. Did you guys see this stool I made? This rooster stool? I made it in the other video. I didn't have time to put any top coat on it during the video. Before we went out of town, so I'm just gonna add some top coat right now, and then it will be finished, and then I can put it in my store. I might just use like Big Top or something if I can find where my Big Top is. I constantly put my stuff in, I keep most of my paints in my garage, and then I put them in this bucket so I can take it to the garage. Okay, so this is the big top. It is DIY's. I thought about waxing it, but I think I'll just, it's a little easier just to put this big top on there. Sometimes it sticks too. This is the part y'all don't see on the video when I'm trying to get the stuff open. Okay, so there we go. Oh my gosh, I just got it all over my face. Okay. Great, that's what happens in live. That's the part y'all don't get to see in the regular video. But the good thing is I don't have any makeup, so I can just wipe out all off my face. It went everywhere. Okay, there you go. So we're just going to stir it up. Okay, here we go. I gotta have a drink of water, I'm thirsty. Okay, so I'm just gonna stir it up. Big top's really easy to use. So on DIY chalk paint, you can seal it with several things. You can seal your clay with big top, or you can seal it with wax, or you can seal it with liquid patina. Liquid patina makes things waterproof. So if you want it to go outside, put the liquid patina on it. So, but see how easy this goes on? It goes on really easy and really fast. But I just hadn't done this yet, so I couldn't take it to my store. So today I went up to my booth. Lucky for me, Luann, you're gonna, no, who was telling me? Zella, you're gonna like this. You're gonna like this. Not Luann, but Zella, I think, was telling me this. So my booth in Gainesville, Georgia, where I live, is 1 block from my house. So it's very, very convenient for me to run up there and take stuff. It's very easy for me to go there. It was when we first moved here, the building was, I think it was an old furniture store, and it was empty for a long time, and we would walk by. So we live really close to our downtown square, like a little over a block away, and we can just walk to downtown from where we are. And anyway, the building was empty for a long time. The whole point of this story is it was empty. Then they opened the antique store, and then I told my husband I'd like to do that. He said okay. So anyway, it's now been, gosh, it's going to be 4 years this year that I've been in that store. But now I have paint and art supplies. I actually have 2 regular booths there where I sell stuff, and then I also have 2 regular booths, and then I have a paint booth where I sell my DIY paint. I sell my Rethunk junk paint, and then I sell Alchemy by Fusion, and I sell some Fusion top coats. They allow me to sell some Fusion top coats there because I sell the Alchemy, and I sell the Fusion. Oh, and I also sell milk paint. I sell my milk paint, both Fusion milk paint and Homestead house milk paint. So I sell all that at that store, plus JRV papers as well. So, and I sell paintbrushes and all that. Then at my husband's store, I sell IOD, all the Iron Orchid designs, and I sell Fusion over there. But it's not an antique store, so people have to, you know, search me out to find that place. But that's where I do most of my online, online orders from. So it works out good because I store all my stuff that I ship out online. So anyway, so you see how fast this is to put this on? Thank y'all for hanging out with me while I do these crafts. Otherwise, I just have to do this by myself, and I'd probably just watch another YouTube video or something like that. Okay, I'm on the waiting list for a huge one in our town, 3 blocks away. I'm hoping to get in there soon. I won't sell paint there because there is a DIY lady that I bought from, okay, for years there. Okay, what do you paint with Rethunk junk paint? I don't think I've seen you use it. Okay, I've barely used it, and the reason I didn't use it at first is because I didn't have it online. So Rethunk Junk is a great paint. It is another great paint. It's very popular in Georgia. It's actually a Georgia-based company. It is a lot like Fusion Mineral Paint. It's a 3-in-1 paint. It has a built-in primer, built-in top coat. It's a great paint. Before I sold Fusion years ago, I would also use Rethunk Junk. If y'all like to try it, y'all should give it a try. It has a little bit more of a chalky, like a matte finish, I would think. Hey Isabel, how are you? When do I sleep? I sleep at night. But anyway, that paint is a very popular seller. Believe it or not, at my store, I sell a lot more Rethunk Junk paint than I sell DIY paint because everyone knows that paint. You know, that paint line was actually there. I actually bought that, you know, I took over another retailer, her name's Judy, her spot, because she had 2 other spots, 2 other booths, and it was too much to, you know, run the 3 booths. But when I first started there, the owners of the store would only let you have paint in 2 booths. So in order to have paint, I took it over because I also had the Whimsykel papers, and it just made sense. But you can paint with it just like Fusion Mineral Paint. The paint line has all, you know, it's got top, it doesn't require top coat, but it does have, you know, top coats. It's got glazes. They don't sell any waxes because they say, you know, waxes are not required. So they do sell some glazes and stuff, but it's a great paint. It comes in 2 different sizes. I believe it's a pint size or a quart. So you can get a bigger portion of it. And it's a little bit cheaper than Fusion Mineral Paint. Just a little bit cheaper. So for a little bit more. So you get a little bit more bang for your buck, but they're both really good paints. They've got slightly different colors. I can't remember how many colors there are. There's not as many colors in Rethunk Junk, but they are a very good paint line. Would y'all like me to see me paint with Rethunk Junk sometime? Would that be something? Oh, there's something knocking my camera. I'm sorry, it's probably this. Okay. So, would y'all like to see me do that? So, I do sleep. That's funny that someone said, when do I sleep? I do sleep, but today I had to clean I've been cleaning my house up because we got back from that trip. School's getting started, so I want my house to look clean. So I didn't, you know, and be organized and all that before the kids get home from Texas. And so we can have a fresh start for school. So I didn't have time to do any projects today. I was just literally cleaning, emptying suitcases and, you know, just all that kind of stuff you have to do. Hey Lynn, how are you doing? Okay, that's better. Oh, it was blocking it. Okay, well, I live in Georgia. I've never heard of Rethink. I do love, okay, well, great. Where do you live, Isabel? Yeah, it's a local Georgia company. It's a great paint too. I just haven't promoted it. It's kind of hard to promote all these different paints, and I won't be like jumping back and forth. I typically mention it, but yeah, I mean, I can definitely show you all that paint. You can try it out. I do have it all on my website, and like I said, in the store, I sell a ton of it. Online, occasionally, because I don't promote it, but too much online. But there are some really nice colors, a lot of really good colors. There's also some brushes. How they doing? Yeah, they're doing good. They're having a lot of fun. They got to Texas. I was on a live last night. Some of y'all saw me yesterday. But yeah, they're having a great time. They went to church this morning. They have been fishing and riding the golf cart and playing games. And I mean, they've been having, from what I hear, a real big time. So, but yeah, so Cobb County. Do you live, is that, wait, okay, so Fulton is Atlanta, but Cobb is over there. I'm horrible at this because I have lived in Georgia for like 17, 18 years, but because I live kind of up here in the mountain, I mean, I live in Gainesville now, so it's not really the mountain area, but I work in Cleveland and Clarksville, and I work more in the mountaintop area, so I'm just not, you know, I don't go to Atlanta and that area very much. So I stay up here, so I'm pretty my husband, I'll ask him, because my husband drives all over Atlanta and everywhere, and I'll say, where are you? And he'll start telling me names of streets and all this junk, and I'm like, that does not help at all. You need to tell me you are, you know, north, south, east, west, whatever direction, and how many minutes. But when you start telling me, you know, this whatever street, that doesn't help, because I'm not, you know, I just didn't spend a lot of time. You know, like I tell my husband, if you tell me places in Dallas, Texas, I would know exactly where they are, or a lot of them. But you start telling me places in Georgia, and just because I haven't been there, I'm not going to know. So anyway, so we got that Life 360. I like that, so I can tell where he is instead of him, because he likes to tell me, like I said, names of streets. Like, I'm over here on whatever. I'm, you know, whatever he says. And I'm like, somewhere by the perimeter or such and such mall, that means nothing to me. I'm like, that means nothing to me. I have no idea where you are. So anyway, okay. Hey Gina, how are you? What's going on? I went up to the store and I got your milk paint, your Monterey, and your coastal, so it will be going out tomorrow. Laura, I meant to ask you, have you tried Alchemy paint yet? Have you tried it yet? Alchemy is Fusion mineral paints, chalk paint line. Okay, so here we go. Oh yeah, also I told y'all yesterday that I'm going to be carrying online the cottage colors. So if any of y'all want to try out the DIY cottage colors, you can order them from me online if you would like to try them out. Okay. I have a friend in Marietta that is near you. I think she's, okay. Okay, there we go. I think that's good. If I have to add some more somewhere else, I'll add it. But see, that was pretty quick, and you don't have to rub it off or wipe it off like you have to with wax. But I do like to use wax too. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it over here and let it dry. And once it dries, I'll flip it over and do the top. So I put that rooster, I'm doing good. Okay, so I put that rooster art in my booth today and hung it up. Some of y'all saw that. And I was telling the owner of the store that I have that rooster stool. I sent her the reel and the video so she could check it out. And so she did. Okay, so now I'm just going to wipe this up because it's all over the place. Okay, so there is that. Thank you so much. Yeah, that booth that you saw, I have Alchemy paint. I have Alchemy paint, and I have the Fusion mineral paint and some top coats, but I don't have the regular, like the normal Fusion, what do you call it? The normal Fusion mineral paint. So, believe it or not, I get kind of hot painting. It seems kind of stupid. Like, it doesn't seem like you would get hot doing that. Maybe it's because of the lights. Whoops, I'm gonna get back on my computer real quick. I guess I wasn't on it, so it went off. I had this great plan that I was gonna listen to y'all. Roosters and cows are doing well. You need to get that rooster mold. Yeah, you need to get that rooster mold. I love that rooster mold. It's really pretty. You can do so many. The cool thing about the different molds and things, even if you just have a few molds, like you don't have every mold. My problem is I have every mold. So I can only get to so many, so many projects. But if you only have one mold in your stash, like who really only has one mold? I'm sure most of us have a bunch. But if you have that one mold, you can put them on flower pots. you know, on canisters. You can put them on, so you can make artwork out of them. You can put them on so many different things. And that's what I was trying to do in that coastal video, is showing you how you can take these 2 molds and make a bunch of different projects with them. But yeah, I have plenty of those rooster molds. I reordered them. They sold out pretty fast. And then I told myself I wasn't going to reorder anything. I was just going to wait till the next release. But y'all really love that mold, and so I decided to get some more. So if you want the rooster mold, it's on my website, and I have it right there in my what do you call it, my description. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love if you subscribed. You guys don't forget to hit that like button if you're having fun. I know some of you have not hit it, because I can tell there's multiple people watching and only 5 likes. So I'd love for you to hit that like button, and it sends out to more people. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is, do y'all want to see more of that kind of art, or do you want me to paint like some furniture? Because I could paint some furniture, but I'm gonna paint that with Fusion. So I bought these tables. I'm gonna tell you all a story. So my garage has too much stuff in it that I need to work on, but you know, you can acquire faster than you can paint, or faster than I can paint. So I went by this. I'm gonna go grab this table. I have it right here. Oh, I want to show y'all something else. I'm gonna show y'all a few things. I went up to my store because I want to do some milk paint, because I love milk paint. Okay, furniture. So I went up there to my store. I'm getting in the mood for fall. I did a little reel, but whatever. So I thought I would show y'all some of these colors. This is called Kentucky. Oh, my computer keeps, oh, there we go. Okay, this is called Kentucky. These are all Homestead House paints. This is called Autumn Leaves. I pulled a bunch of the fall, or colors that could be used for fall. Raw Silk, Pioneer Green, Waterloo, and look at this one. It's called Mennonite. It's kind of like a plum color. It looks kind of like a plum color to me. But anyway, I pulled, wait, I thought more than this. I pulled some yellow ones too. Let me see where they are. I put them all over here. Oh, here they are. And I pulled some of these colors too. Ochre, I think. I did, okay, this one's called Belfour. And I have all these on my website. Garden Seed, Antique Gold. I pulled 2 of this one because when I was at my store and I was doing some stuff, there was a table, looked kind of like an old farmhouse table, and it was all chippy and everything, but it was in this yellow, like a light pale yellow. It was so pretty. I thought maybe I should do something with that. Anyway, I pulled all these colors because I want to do something. So sometimes I bring them home just to get some inspiration. And then I pulled, I'm just going to show you all this. It's easier. I pulled some, I've got a few more somewhere else. I pulled some of the Alchemy colors too. See which one I want to use. I've got Sage and Rosemary. This is the Raspberry, Sunset, and this is called Willow and Thistle. I thought these were kind of fun colors for fall, or you know, this time of year, fall, Halloween. I thought they were kind of cool, but I wanted to show you this. Okay, so they're sitting over here on this table. Okay, so now we're going to grab this table right here, and we are going to clean it up, and then we might paint it some. Okay, so I'm going to show you this table. So here's the story about this table. Here I come with this table. Okay, so you see this table, okay? It was there were 2 tables. There's a thrift store on my way to my office in Cleveland. I have about a 30-minute drive. I passed like several thrift stores on my way there. Anyway, I saw this table and it was sitting there, and there was another one next to it. I passed it day after day after day because they have some stuff outside, but it's like undercover. Every day I passed it, but I said, no, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. So I never got it. Anyway, I ended up finally stopping like a week later and asked them how much it was. I went up there. There were still 2 of them. Someone had moved them, so I thought they sold one. But I went up there and asked them, and I'm quite sure I paid $7 a piece for these tables. Okay, they're big, it's like a table you could put a lamp on, but it's kind of higher than a normal side table, okay? So, but look what it has. It's got that pretty cane. Isn't that pretty? I'm a little worried that if I put it on top of there, it might get that paint on it. So I might put some paper towels on there. Okay, you didn't like the way it came out. What did you use the milk paint on? Because sometimes depending on what you used it on, and you have to put like 4 coats of it on there, 3 to 4 coats of it before it's gonna look right, and then you have to seal it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna take this, and just so it doesn't get on that cane, I'm gonna put some paper towels on top of here. Yeah, isn't that pretty? I couldn't believe when I saw the cane. I was like, good grief, that looked way better than I even thought. So I bought it, and I put one in my garage, and then I put one in my car. And then my husband, I don't know how else to do this. Then my husband took it out and he took it to his office. Yeah, I showed y'all this yesterday. I showed y'all the other one, didn't I? Y'all that watched the other live last night would have seen it because it was at my husband's office. But anyway, I want to paint this. But I've got to clean it up first. An old wood tool caddy. What do you think happened to it? What did you not like about it, Luann? Okay, so the first thing that you got to do is you got to clean it. This is called the Prep from Rethunk Junk. It's their cleaner. I sell it on my website. I also sell TSP, but I don't have it in a, I need to put my TSP in a bottle. It's the cleaner from Fusion. But you just want to make sure that you clean it good first. I was adding some stuff on my website. Ooh, there's cobwebs. I was adding some stuff on my website this morning. Some stuff I hadn't added. Added some of these little scrubby things. And they were talking about scrubbing it with these little scrubby pads. Does dry milk paint get old? Dry, what do you mean? I don't know. I mean, I couldn't imagine it. I'm glad you are doing this. I think they are plant stands. Yeah, it could be a plant stand, but it's bigger than like a normal plant stand. Like, I think it would be good for like a lamp or something. But yeah, you could use it as a plant stand for sure. But I thought they're really pretty, but they weren't in horrible shape, but I wouldn't want them in my house how they are now. So, and plus, I thought they would look good if they were painted. Even after 3 coats, it looked streaky. Well, was it white? But you got to keep, okay, so here's the trick with milk paint, in my opinion. Don't put a lot of water in it, and you might have to put like 5 or 6 coats, especially if it's a light color like white. If it's white, just like regular paint, you know, you kind of got to put extra coats. So, do you have more than one? Because you can always put a you could always put another milk paint on it and then just kind of sand it, and then you get that really, really old look. I'm going to put this on the ground. Okay, like this, because I got to clean. My back is starting to hurt all of a sudden. Okay. Oh, there's a sticker on there. Oh, it says, I don't know what that says. Nondo, made in Indonesia. Still has a sticker on it. I don't know if, you know, where someone got this, but when she said $7, I was like, okay, I'll take it. I couldn't believe it was only $7. I'm gonna have to get my, no, it was dark blue. Put both stools together. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Something like that. Yeah, so what I would do, if you don't like it, do you have another color? Because you can put, I'm going to show you something, and I don't know if it's in here or if it's outside. It may be in here, it may be outside. I don't remember if it's in here or not. I've got like a little sample that we did. Oh, it might be outside. Oh, here it is. Here it is. See, I've got like everything here. Okay, Luann. I did this with 3 different colors. I did this at the Fusion Retreat. See that? First I painted it blue, and then I put pink, and then I put white. So if you put multiple colors like that, oh, you paint it over it with DIY. Well, what I would do is, the first thing is, if you want it chippy, you have to have, it can't be on like raw wood. If it's on raw wood, it's not gonna work, okay? It's going to soak in. If you put it on raw wood, it's going to soak in to your paint, and you're not gonna get into your wood, and you're not gonna get any crackle. So anytime I paint something that's wood, I'm gonna put milk paint, I have to put a sealer on it. Did you put a sealer on it? So you gotta put a sealer on it first if it's wood. Like if I wanted this to have milk paint, it kind of feels like it has a sealer. But if I wanted it to make sure that it was, crackle, like chippy, I will put a sealer on top of it first. I'm just gonna try to do this. I'm gonna try to sand this off a little bit. I'm gonna have to scuff sand this piece anyway, so it's okay to vacuum that up. I'm just gonna do like a light scuff sand. Can y'all see me do this? Yeah, you can see. Okay. I'm just gonna do a light scuff sand all on it. So I always like to scuff sand things. You know, some of these paints say you don't have to do this or that. Well, maybe you don't. But, you know, it takes about 5 seconds to scuff sand it. And then you don't have to worry about it not sticking. So I like to do a light scuff sand. And then I know that it's going to be prepped, because prepping your piece is very important. You want to make sure that it's clean and that it's prepped. Otherwise, your paint might actually stick to, it was old wood. So, well, I don't know what happened. I hear it has a mind of its own. I don't have patience for that. Well, it does, but that's also like the beauty of it. You know, it's like, if you want something to look perfect, don't paint with milk paint. If you want something to look perfect, paint with something else. If you want it to look, you know, your end result to be, you know, it's kind of like like when you're doing pottery, there's some glazes that are going to give you crazy looks and you don't know what it's going to look like. And then there's other glazes that, you know, are going to be solid and exactly like you want. Kind of like the paint inlays with IOD versus the transfer. The transfer is going to give you that perfect, most of the time, perfect transfer. The paint inlay, you don't always know what you're going to get, but that's also the beauty of it. So I'm thinking I might feel the same. Well, maybe, I don't know. I'm going to do some more milk painting. You know what, I'm going to change y'all's mind. But even if you don't like it, I understand. Maybe it's not for everyone. I just like it because it's something different. It's not like a perfect look every single time. Hey, have all of y'all joined my free creative group on Facebook? If not, y'all need to go over there and join. It's free, and y'all can post your creations, whatever you do. You can make friends. You can get inspiration. Y'all, there's something sticky on here. Yeah, I do love Fusion. So I love Fusion too. I love DIY and I love Fusion. First paint I carried was Fusion because I loved it and I still love it. That's why I say it's my first love. But then when I went to that Sonnets retreat in Wisconsin back in September, I really thought, gosh, this DIY paint is nice too because you can blend it like y'all saw me doing in these things I did earlier. Okay, so I think I got all the stickiness off of there. There was a little sticky. Sometimes you can't see it until you clean it, and sometimes even when you scuff sand it, you start seeing sticky stuff. And if I was to paint right over that sticky stuff, then we could have trouble because the paint could eventually come off because it's sticking to that sticky stuff and not the other stuff. I'm going to show you something. This is the color we're going to paint it. It's cast iron by Fusion. Yeah, post a picture how it turned out. Paint inlays don't frustrate you as much. Well, see, that's why I like, you know, that's why I like milk paint, is because it's, you know, if you want the perfect finish, if you want a perfect, flawless finish, Fusion mineral paint. If you want to get a chippy look, but you're not quite sure how it's going to come out, use the milk paint. Especially if you want to get that old look, that old chippy look, you can do that just like this. See? I think that is so cool. Now, these aren't colors that I would normally use together. I wouldn't even think about using the pink and the blue, but they had this is the colors they had open, so we just, you know, these were just like pieces of wood with the little piece glued on there. Okay, yes, please post a picture. And y'all can post on that free creative group. That is for you guys to post anytime you want to. I have my videos to post, so I don't have to post my projects on there. It's for you guys. Sometimes y'all don't know. And I changed the setting where y'all can post and I don't have to approve it. Because sometimes what was happening is it wasn't showing me your post till like days later. Okay, well, you can stick to whatever. I just like to do different. You know why I do different kind of paints? Lou-Ann, you want to know why? Because I get bored with the same paint, to be honest. I get bored. So that's why I like to do different paints, because it just gives me like a little change of paints. But I would probably be bored if I only used milk paint. I'd want something different. But the thing with milk paint that we learned at that convention is we learned 5 different, it wasn't a convention, it was like a stockish retreat. We learned 5 different techniques using milk paint. You can use milk paint like the chippy or not chippy at all. I didn't know how to do it all these different ways. Okay, but yeah, we learned how to use it. Now I got to go back. I'm just going to wet my paper towel here. We're going to try to get as much dust off as possible, but you know, I'm not going to be like, there's no perfection here or anything like that. We're just going to go over it. So you don't have to do this step, but I like to do this step. Okay. So this is a brand new bottle of the cast iron paint. So I always start painting it from the, I think I'm going to use this artist brush. I don't think I'm going to paint right here. That looks like it would be too much. So I'm going to open this cast iron. Okay. It is an off black color. Because it's off black, you shouldn't see any streaks. I gotta be really careful. I don't want to mess up that cane. Okay. There you go. So you're gonna stir it up. Okay. If you've never tried Fusion mineral paint, it's like painting with butter. It's the smoothest paint. And the Alchemy is like that too. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see that okay? Y'all see that? Okay. Okay. So really 1 coat would probably do the trick because it has great coverage, but I'll probably put 2 coats just in case it, you know, doesn't cover completely. So the thing with Fusion mineral paint is it has a built-in primer, so you don't have to prime. It has a built-in top coat, so it does not require a top coat unless you're doing something like a kitchen table or something that's going to be used a lot. You don't have to use a top coat. And it is self-leveling, meaning when you paint it, it's going to level out and be smooth, and it's going to give you that powder finish. It looks like it was sprayed. So I'm using a Stahlmeister paintbrush. I have a lot of these Stahlmeister paintbrushes on my website. In my opinion, they are the best paintbrushes around, but I also have some DIY paintbrushes. They're good too. I don't know if I have this particular, I know I don't have this particular one on there yet. I've ordered some art brushes, and when I get them in, this is considered an artist brush. I'll put it on my website, or yeah, I'll put it on my website for you. But I have, you know, some of these other ones like this. So you always want to have a good paintbrush. A good paintbrush is going to make a huge difference in not having any brush strokes. So, and less is more with Fusion Mineral Paint. You don't want it to be real thick. Okay, so we're just going to add some more here. And we're going to do the bottom. And then, but I thought this would kind of make it look modern and really pretty. Have y'all ever used cast iron? Ooh, cast iron before? I'm sorry, I can't. Oh, that's where that sticker was. I don't know if that sticker was off. We may have to deal with that after. I may have to sand that little part down. Okay. But yeah, if you've never used Fusion Mineral Paint, it's literally like painting with butter. It's so smooth, and it has the most beautiful finish. It looks like professional furniture, like something you would get at a furniture store. And with the right tools and doing, you know, making sure you prep it, that you clean it, and making sure that you have the right tools, anyone can get a professional finish. And that's what I love about Fusion. Oh, shoot, I gotta be careful here. I don't wanna get that paint on that cane, because if I do, we're gonna be in trouble. Okay, so, but you don't want to, with this kind of paint, less is more, because if you put too much paint on there, and if you work it too much, you can get the brush strokes. They have tester sizes. I have a tester something over here. Wait, where did I put that little tester? But they're very small. They're little bitty. They're not like DIY testers. They're very small. But you can still paint a lot with the testers. They're just small. And I think they cost either $6.99 or $7.99, but they're small and you can test it out. I have testers on my website, but you know, you can still do a lot of projects with a tester. So if you've never tried it out and you'd like to, get a tester. Or get a color that you know you're going to use, like black or something like that. But yeah, I love Fusion Mineral Paint. And like I said, if you don't have a Stallmeister brush, you should invest in a Stallmeister paintbrush, because it makes all the difference in the world. And even when I was first learning to paint with this paint, I also have rollers too. Even when I first was learning, I mean, I was just a customer. Sometimes I got some brush strokes and I didn't know why I didn't have the right paintbrushes. I learned that later. Same with the rollers. I also sell the Stallmeister rollers, and I sell some other rollers. And the rollers, you know, having the right rollers. Can y'all see this if I paint that? It's kind of hard to paint furniture where y'all can see it. But then you know, after you do the bottom part, you're just gonna, here, I'll do this part. You're gonna go back and do the legs. The good part about painting a table like this is when you paint it upside down and you get it all painted, then, see, this is the problem. Can y'all see over? Once you get it all painted, then when you flip it over, it's like a bar stool. You ever paint bar stools? Once you paint the whole bottom, you flip it over and it's almost done. All you gotta do is paint that top. So you just want to put, see now it dripped a little bit like that, and you're just gonna, I got a little bit on the inside, but that won't matter. I'm trying to do this where you guys can see it. But yeah, I'm really worried about that cane. Okay. But yeah, can y'all see how smooth that's painting on, how pretty it is? Can you see that okay? Or is it blocking it? I know it's kind of hard to see that. But yeah, if you haven't tried the Fusion, I would recommend trying it. Oh no, there's that cane. I hope it doesn't get black on it. Okay, trying to see now. That's, maybe I should just scoot this over. It's just hard to film this for y'all can see it. Okay, just watch this. Here you go. Y'all can see that. Look how smooth that paint's on. I always tell people it paints like butter, because it really does. And you're not going to see brush strokes if you have the right tools. You can't get this nice paint and then go and get a cheapo brush. You have to invest in the brush. But so these brushes usually run about $30 something, $40, but you can use it over and over and over and over and over, so it's worth it. It's kind of like spending a lot of money on a bed and then getting a cheapo mattress. It doesn't make sense. You know, like the bed frame. So you want to get a nice brush. I have to do this part. I'm sorry, y'all aren't going to be able to see that unless I turn it. But you see how fast, and the coverage. It's got excellent coverage. But I like to put 2 coats on. I always say 2 coats in case there's like a missing spot. Good night. Oh, 5 o'clock. Yeah, that come real early. Good night, Isabel. Thanks for watching. Okay. I know I got to get to bed soon too. I'm already getting tired, but y'all get the picture here. Well, this is fun painting with y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me while I paint, and I hope you learned something. If you've learned anything, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you learned. So you just go around and you paint all of these sides. It's kind of like painting a chair. It's a little bit of a pain. I always like to leave an area like these little things, these handles in the feet, so that I can turn it. Otherwise you get in a real mess. Yes, if you take care of your brush, you can use it for a long time. So yes, it's an investment, but it will make all, y'all see that? Look at that. It's so smooth. I love that. And okay, so another thing about Fusion Mineral Paint, you can paint with it outside. You can paint stuff for outside. It's rated for outside, so it won't fade and it will hold up. So if you want to paint like flower pots, I had this grand plan. I was going to paint all, I've got some plastic flower pots that I've had a long time, like over 10 years, and they're real faded. They look horrible, but they were like real big, cool looking flower pots. But I was thinking about painting them, but I haven't gotten around to that yet. But you can paint stuff outside and it will last. How long does it take to cure? 21 days to cure. But you know, after a couple of days, it's, you know, like it doesn't take that much time to dry by touch, but 21 days to completely fully cure. But it's a great paint. I wouldn't tell you that. I wouldn't tell you it was great if I didn't believe it was great. But in my opinion, it is top of the line furniture paint, because 1, it lasts, it's good outdoors. 2, self-leveling. 3, you don't have to prime it. And it's just it gives you the most beautiful finish. Like y'all see that coverage. There's no streakiness. It's not, now some people say with certain, like maybe white, you might have to do, you know, more coats. But this cast iron has a, do I wait for it to cure before putting it in my booth? Well, you wouldn't have to wait for it to fully cure, because just don't put anything on top of it. Like it's gonna be dry to the touch. Like I did y'all see that live where I painted that furniture outside? I don't know if y'all saw that live, but I mean, not too many days after, I did put some stuff on it, like to take pictures of, and I did leave some stuff on it. But I don't put a lot of furniture in my booth that hasn't cured. Or I don't have a whole lot of furniture in my booth. Not that I don't put it that hadn't cured. I just don't have a lot of furniture. I saw that live. Okay, so yes, those tables I did outside, that was Fusion. I still have them at my house because I took pictures, and I don't really, honestly, I don't have a place in my booth to put those tables. I think I'm gonna keep the black one But y'all, those tables are so pretty. But you got to be careful though, because I did leave some stuff sitting on one of them. Like I took a picture and then I left it, and I'm going to have to just touch it up in that area, because if you don't let it fully cure, you know, and you leave something that has something sticky on the bottom, it can mess it up. But yeah, that live, those tables, I mean, I have it right over here. Beautiful. But yeah, to be on the safe side, you could wait till it cures, or just put it in your booth after a few days and don't put anything on it. Like don't stack decorations and stuff on there, and it should be fine. But yeah, if you saw that live, then you know what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, it really transforms pieces, and it really makes them look high class. And you see how easy it is. I'm not doing anything special. I'm just making sure that, you know, you don't have too much paint on your brush. And then just make sure that you have the good brush. It's worth the investment, because it makes, I wish y'all could feel this brush. It feels like a baby's butt. This company is from, they've been around forever, and they're from, where is it? The Netherlands. Actually, I told you on that last live, I got to meet the great-grandchildren of the person that started the Stallmeister brand. But see, like there, that's almost already dry. And I can put another coat right there, but I'm gonna go ahead and go back. Can y'all see that? Oh, you can't see it up here. I'm just painting the top of that one leg. Oops. There you go, there you go. Now you can see. But this brush, where is this? Oh, here we go. This is the one right by me. But this brush is I picked this one up at the conference, and like I said, I'm adding some more brushes. I just ordered a whole new package of them. They'll be coming in. I think my paint's coming in on, yeah, she would love this paint. But you can use it on crafts too. I use it on crafts just because I don't have time. I always say I don't have time to paint furniture, but it's ridiculous. Something like this doesn't take any time to paint. It really doesn't. Y'all see how fast I can paint this whole thing from prep to finish. I'm trying to get, there you go. I'm trying to show you all the areas I haven't. But the brush, if I was using a brush that was cheaper, you'd probably see lines. Even though the paint is a great paint, you just have to have a good brush. It's I can't stress that enough. Because yeah, when I first started painting too, I used a roller, and I told the lady, the stockist, I said, I don't know why I'm getting these little, you know, lines in my in the paint. I could see roller marks. She goes, oh, well, you're not, she wasn't very helpful. She said, oh, well, you're not using the right roller. Well, I mean, how the heck would I have known? But anyway, so then she showed me which roller to use, and then once I had that Stallmeister roller, it's kind of hard to see in here because of the lighting. I've got this big ring light right on me, and it's kind of shining right in my eyes. But anyway, once I used the right roller, and I sell the rollers and the handles, you know, the little rollers on my website, and they make just such a big difference. But you can use, I do a lot of crafts with the Fusion mineral paint. There's tons of colors. I think there's like 70, 80 colors. There's a ton of colors, beautiful colors, a bunch of beautiful neutrals, and a bunch of brights as well. Okay, I'm trying to see where that is. Okay, I can come over here and paint this. Yeah, I think your friend would like it if she is, so now this is the part where I'm gonna get in trouble, because I'm gonna, I could get paint on me if I try to turn it. I also want to show you this little thing. I've never used it, but, oh, here's the tester. Here's what the tester looks like. It looks like this. I'm going to show you. Here's the regular Fusion. And here's the tester. It's small. And but you can still paint a lot with this because you see how liquidy it is. This is what it compares to the Fusion. It's much smaller. if you use it with an inlay, can you get more than one use of the inlay? No, you can't use that kind of paint with an inlay unless you put a top coat on it. Now, some people say you can only get one use with an inlay if you use the top coat. I haven't always found that to be, you know, accurate, but that's what they say. So, but it works great with transfers if you want to put like transfers on it, or but usually when I do, I actually prefer chalk paint. See this brush? I actually prefer chalk paint when I'm using inlays. But you can certainly also use like a clear coat, top coat, and then put the paint inlay on. Oh, so I got off track. Okay, you see this little thing? It's called a miracle sponge. I've never used it yet, okay? But I have it in my booth. I didn't have it online until the other day, and I put it on my website. But let me open it. It's called Miracle Sponge. It's just a few dollars. It's on my website. Let me try to open this. It's supposed to be for painting spindles. I've never used it, but it says you can dip it in your paint and then you can paint like chairs and stuff. So there you go. But there's a lot of gorgeous colors. Until I didn't start DIY paint. I didn't start selling that until like after Christmas time, or like I only think I got my first order. I didn't even get it into my booth until January. But all my videos before then, you're going to see me using Fusion mineral paint for crafting and all that. But they're both good paints. They're just different. You know, DIY paint is great for blending. It's great for that thick textured look. You can distress it easier, this kind of deal. And you can use it for furniture paint. But if I'm painting furniture like this and I want this kind of finish, like a very smooth, professional looking finish, I'm going to use Fusion paint. Not because I have anything against DIY paint, it's just a different look. You know what I mean? It's just different. It's not, you're not going to get the brush strokes. It's going to be, ooh, how'd I get a little? The only thing with this brush is the handle's kind of long. So when we were at that Stockist retreat, they had all of these paint brushes that people used, and at the end of the retreat, and so a lot of them hadn't been used at all, you got drawn by number, and then you could go up there and buy these. We get them, of course, at wholesale cost, but they were below wholesale cost, and I was dying to get some of these artist brushes because, I'll show it to you, like, you know, I've got these thicker brushes, which they're great, okay? But when you're doing crafts, you kind of want, I mean, I'm not doing crafts most of the time with these big old brushes. So I was able to, by the time I got up there, they still had some of the artist brushes, so I was able to get those. I have another one too, and I love it. I don't know where it is, somewhere around here. And this one too, I'm about to put this one on my website. These are the 1 series. They're called, this is a little bit bitty one, see it? This would actually probably be really good because it doesn't have that long handle. So let's see if I got all around it. So I'll have to turn it over and get the bottom side. But see, you're hardly going to see any lines. Down here, it's already dry to the touch. See that? It's already dry to the touch down there. And then it's pretty much dry there too. Most of the area down below is already dry to the touch. And then the top is the part that's wet because I just painted it. But you see how easy that was and how smooth it was. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn it. Ooh, there's some of that paint. I don't want to get on that cane. But I'll probably just let it, okay. Let me see where this is. Where am I seeing it? It's hard on the camera to tell where you're, oh, there it is. Okay, you see this part right there? Good night, Luann. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I'm just gonna paint a little bit more right there because it's missing I couldn't see it. It's kind of dark. The lighting's not good in here. So I'm just gonna go back over that. So the key takeaways are you don't want to put too much paint on your brush or you'll get drips. And then you have to use a good brush so that it goes on smooth. I carry these Stallmeister brushes and some other brushes too, but these are really great brushes if you're in the mood for wanting to invest in a brush that's going to give you amazing furniture results. So anyway, you can wait a couple hours between coats. A lot of times I'll just wait until it's dry to the touch. I think they recommend waiting a couple hours, but I don't always do that. But anyway, that is that. I'm going to move this over. I think I'll just move it right here. But I'll finish this one at another time because I'm gonna let it dry and it's getting kind of late. Okay. So y'all let me know, did you like seeing the furniture makeover? Did y'all enjoy the furniture makeover? If you did, give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought. Like I said, I love using the Fusion Mineral Paint. I think this is going to turn out really classy looking. That's the thing, that's what I would call this paint. This paint gives a very classy, high-end look, modern, high-end. It can be traditional, whatever style you want to, but it can give you an amazing result. And I wouldn't tell you that if I didn't believe it. Good, Carrie, I'm glad you learned. But it will give you an amazing, beautiful, no brush strokes or hardly any brush strokes, gorgeous finish. It's a great finish. If you like the blending and the distressing and you want to get layer it up, use the DIY paint. It's a different kind of paint. It's harder to get layers. It's like that layered look, that artsy look. To me, this is what I would call it. The DIY paint is more of an artsy paint. You can get, make layers. Look, this one I'm going to show you too. I don't know if you can see that. It used hardly anything. So I'll paint one more. It's barely even going to touch 1 pint. I mean, it's hardly going to use probably this much paint on this whole table. So I could paint 2 of these tables. I mean, I can paint a ton of stuff with this 1 jar of paint. It goes a long, long way just because the coverage is so good. So anyway, but this, if you're looking for a really amazing furniture paint and you want that powder finish, that high-end classy powder finish, Fusion Mineral Paint. If you like that artsy and you want to blend, and you can get a smooth finish too with the DIY paint. I'm just telling you, it's easier with this paint. And it can go outside. And the other thing is you don't have to seal it. Once you have this on, it's got a sealer. Unless you're doing your kitchen table that you're going to be using a lot, you don't have to put a sealer on it. If you are going to be using it a lot, I would recommend the Ultra Guard. That's our newest product. You can use the Ultra Guard. It's very good finish. Or you can use the wax. My husband just walked in here. He's doing laundry. So he's bringing some laundry. But that would be my recommendation. They're both very good. They're both very good paint. Sorry, I got an email from one of my legal clients. 11 o'clock at night. Anyway, they're both very good paints, just depending on what kind of look that you're going for. Would y'all like to see more furniture painting with Fusion Mineral Paint on my videos going forward? My next one's going to be all DIY paint, and my last one was a lot of DIY paint. But going forward, I mean, I can do either one. I've got all the paint, so y'all let me know what you would like to see. And I think I'm about to wrap all this up. You gotta make sure though that you clean your brushes, because you don't want to mess them up because they are expensive. Like I said, I think this one probably at retail price is $40 maybe, 40 something dollars, but worth every penny. Of course, I got it at a better price than that, but I would pay the $40. And before I was a retailer, I bought the Stallmeister brushes and I was like, wow, I'm open to more furniture. Perfect, Gina. we will do more furniture because I have, as my husband says, a garage full. He was joking. I was like, I don't know what to do tonight. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do my thrift flips or if I want to do a table. He's like, well, there's probably, he was telling me there's some tables out in the garage you could paint. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. So thank y'all for being here with me. Good night, Carrie. Thank you, Gina. Get your order. I'm getting your order out tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. You'll have a great night. If you're in the mood for more thrift flips, you can check out my other videos. I've got a lot of different, I've got tons of thrift flips. I've got tons of Christmas videos, Halloween videos, fall videos, summer videos, garden videos, regular thrift flip videos, whatever you want to see. I've got a bunch of them on there. So y'all have a good night. Y'all take care, and I'll talk to you later.